In this video, we're going to be using Barrister and Mann, the full measure of a man, and the Rockwell Model T2. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And before we get into the content, as always, a word from my sponsor, Leaf. This video is brought to you by our good friends at Leaf, and you know I love Leaf products. I love using the Leaf, which you've seen me use many times on the channel. I also love using the Twig. You've seen that a lot on the channel as well. If you'd like to save 5%, use discount code IAMCDB right there and save 5% while shopping with the good folks at Leaf. And now, back to the video. And all right, we are back, and let's get into the content today. And by the way, the gear for today was provided by Grown Man Shave. If you'd like 10% off your order, your first order at Grown Man Shave, use discount code IAMCDB right there, and you can get 10% off. So if you want to order something like a Rockwell Model T2, get 10% off, and that is very awesome. So thank you, Grown Man Shave. All right, the soap for today is Barrister and Mann, the full measure of a man, and I really like the artwork on that. That's pretty awesome. I think it's really nice, and surprisingly, I don't mind the scent on this one. It's not my style of scent, but I don't mind it. I actually expected I wouldn't like it, but pleasantly, I am surprised. This, by the way, comes to you for $17.99 for 4 ounces. On a cost chart there, that is $4.49 an ounce, which is a fair price for a soap of this quality. This is a very good quality soap. Barrister and Mann always puts out good quality soaps. The notes on this, I'll put it right there for you, and this is a unique scent to my nose. It's very difficult to nail down. You get tobacco, sandalwood, there's some citrus, vanilla, but it comes together with a it has sort of a vintage vibe to it, like maybe you're having a glass of Scotch whiskey and reading an older book or something. That's sort of how it presents itself to me. The scent strength is right at medium. I actually don't mind it, and so that was a pleasant surprise for me. Again, Barrister and Mann, the full measure of man. I'll put the ingredients for you right there. This is a tallow-based soap, and again, I found that Barrister Mann has always put out good quality soaps. I've never had a quality issue of any kind with Barrister and Mann. And if you saw the unboxing, I had pointed out a black sliver, which I thought was a hair at the time, but then later I put a caption on the video, because what that actually was it was the threading here. There was a sliver of thin plastic that looked like a hair, so it wasn't a hair. So if you saw that video, just know that was not a hair. And I did make a caption on that because I didn't want to lead people to believe there was an issue there with the soap, because there is not, and we look forward to using it today. The razor for today, which I also got from Grown Man Shave, they provided, was the Rockwell Model T2. This one is not exactly the same as the original, although it looks like it. This version is the gunmetal version. Most of the changes, I think, on this razor has been made under the hood, so to speak, meaning internal components. They've strengthened things, the T-bar and all that. This runs about $130. It is adjustable. If you can see the adjustment settings right there. And one of the things I like about it, the bay doors are very smooth. There's no grittiness in that adjustment. I like that a lot. I am using, if you can see there, the Rockwell blade that came with it. And I will start on, I don't know, I'm not going to start on 1. I'm going to start about on 3. I'm going to try 3, like 5 and 6 today, just to see what those settings are. And then down the road, we'll try some of the lower settings. It's definitely a good looking razor. I wish the handle was about 3 inches instead of 3.5, but I look forward to using it today because I haven't used this. And Shady, our good friend, he's a fan of this razor, and he's like, why doesn't anybody else like the Model T2? I don't know. We'll try it today and see how it goes, see how it shaves. I expect it to be a good shaver. So let's get into it. And I apologize, the lather has been sitting for a while because I was waiting for my wife to get up. She hasn't, and so I finally came in here and said, we got to get into the shave today. So it's been sitting, but I'll show you a lather picture right there. Super creamy, super nice. So if it doesn't come across that way on my face now, it's because it's been sitting for about a half hour. And so we'll hope it still looks good. I'm sure it'll still perform regardless, but it doesn't probably look as good now as it did when I first had it whipped up. And it has a light brown color to it. The brush for today is AP Shave Co. And let's get into the shave today and see how we do with the Model T2. I did try the original Model T. I didn't mind it. For me, I just thought the razor, the handle, I don't know, it it felt slightly cumbersome due to that long handle. And I think Shady told me it was only 3.5 inches, but it feels longer than that to me. So I don't know. I'll take his word for it though. I think that lather is respectably creamy still. I think you can see some sheen on that a little bit. And again, I'm glad to be home. I won't be home for long because I'll be going back down to help my mom out, but did have to come home see the wife. She's ill, sadly. Everybody's ill around me, folks. I'm telling you, it's pretty rough. But anyway, we're hoping to have a great shave today, and sort of during this time we let the problems of the world fade for 20 or 30 minutes. You know, of course the video won't be that long, but you know, by the time I'm done with everything, some time will have passed, and I just try to enjoy my experience every single day. All right, let's get going here with the Rockwell Model T2 in gun metal, and there's a look at it again. I want to mention we have a new Patreon, and that is Ray Kennedy. Thank you, Ray Kennedy, for being a patron. I appreciate that support very much. That's pretty efficient there on 3, I think. Either that or the blade is a little rough, the Rockwell blade, because I'm feeling a little, I wouldn't say that's super smooth. It could be the blade, I don't know. And in fact, what I might do here is pull an audible, and I'm going to pull an audible. I'm going to swap that blade for a Nacet or something, and then we'll be back. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and we have put a Nacet in here and kept it exactly on the same place. And let's see how that feels. Much smoother. Much smoother there. So I don't know if that blade was just shot, but that did not feel great on setting 3 with the Rockwell blade here. So I don't know if this is a bum blade or what, but it just didn't feel smooth. And I thought immediately, I knew something was wrong. It just didn't feel right. And now it feels great. It almost felt like I was getting far more blade than I was expecting, a slightly tuggy. And that should never be the case with a brand new blade unless you just don't like the blade. And I've used those in the past and I didn't mind them, but today, I got to tell you, I didn't like that at all. That did not feel the least bit good. And don't be afraid, folks. If you're having some roughness or anything that doesn't feel right, switch it out. Stop and switch it out. There's no reason to push through and have a bad experience with a shave. Now, one thing I want to mention today is we have some new folks on, new viewers and new traditional shavers. Hey, thank you. Thank you, folks, for joining us, first of all. But I want to cover a couple of things here. So one of the gentlemen, he made a comment, and he had spoken to me about blade gap, because he saw me do the above the tie video. I'm going to hit this spot right here real quick. And he mentioned that I said the whatever razor I was using, they listed it at an 8 out of 9 in efficiency, but the blade gap was on like 0.80 or something. And he said he had read in other places that 0.80 should be mild. Here's the issue. Blade gap does not tell the entire tail, folks. Please, I beg of you, don't look only to blade gap as your metric for whether a razor shaves efficiently or aggressively or not. That is just one measure. You have blade exposure, you have blade clamping, you have geometry. So what I told the gentleman is, I said, you know, using only blade gap for a descriptor of razor efficiency is kind of like describing a person and just mentioning their weight. That's one attribute, but it doesn't tell you the entire tail. So you know how heavy they are. You don't know how tall they are. You don't know what they look like. That's what blade gap is to razors. And they often list the blade gap because that's an easy metric for them to list based on how they manufacture razors. It doesn't tell the entire tail. So you can have a razor with a blade gap that's not that great, but with a lot of exposure, and it can feel very efficient. Or you can have it the other way. So keep in mind, folks, blade gap is just one unit of measure as it applies to razor efficiency. And this lather is pretty creamy, gotta say. It's very nice. And I don't mind this in, honestly. it definitely it's a unique scent. It is one of those that it's not a scent you would come across in a cologne or something like that, unless Barrister Mann makes an EDP. I don't think this is a scent that I've ever experienced before in any situation. So it's unique, and honestly, I don't mind it, and it might end up being a keeper for me. I mean, it's unique, and for that reason, I might keep it because I don't have anything like this. I wouldn't say that I love it, but at the same time, something attracts me to it, if that makes sense. It's so unique that I think I like it by virtue of being unique, if that makes sense. So let's adjust this one upward. You don't have to open the bay doors on this one to adjust it as you would with a say a Gillette Fat Boy or something like that, an older Gillette razor. Very nice. Nice and smooth with the Nasset. Boy, I tell you what, when I did those first few strokes with the Rockwell blade, that did not feel good at all. So maybe it's just a bad blade. That does happen. Sometimes you'll get a blade that just isn't smooth out of the box, or sometimes you might even have a couple of blades. And so I encourage you to continue to try blades. And if you just find that after multiple tries, a blade is just not working well for you, then, you can sort of let it go. I'm just gonna, in the interest of keeping this short, do a quick cross here real quick. Because I realize that I'm probably taking a little longer than I might like today, and I don't want to. I make so much content, I can't ask you all to watch, 30-minute videos. Very nice. This is on 5, by the way, so I'll probably just keep it at 5 today. Next time I'll go with 6. Next time I use this razor. That feels nice and smooth. I kind of like the way this is shaving now that I have a good blade that I enjoy in it, the Nasset. So it's feeling pretty good to me now, gotta say. Pretty enjoyable there. All right. That was pretty nice. By the way, I hope you're all doing well. Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate that very much. It does mean a lot. I thank you. I know, there are some channels maybe don't answer your comments. Don't respect your time. This is not one of those channels. I do respect your time, and I appreciate it when you make a comment. And I work to answer each comment, and the only comments I don't answer are probably ones that YouTube has chosen to blow out for some reason. So the only comments that I don't answer generally are comments that I don't see, unless it's something that's, offensive or inappropriate. So I do appreciate you, and I want you to know I do. Like I said, some folks might take it for granted and just sort of put content out there and not get back with you. This is not that type of channel, so thank you. I want you all to be engaged. I want you to be enjoying your shaves. And let's do just a very quick cross pass there. This is nice. I gotta say, I appreciate the scent. I didn't expect to. It's always nice to be pleasantly surprised by something like this. Because Barrister Mann, with me, it can be a scent that I love or a scent that I absolutely hate. And this one, I was expecting not to like it based on what everybody told me. And I end up not minding it. And there's parts of me that kind of like it even. And that's far more than I expected. So I have to say I'm pretty pleased with it. And I'm pleased with the T2 today too. If this handle was 3 inches, I would love this razor. Because now that I have a good blade in it, or at least one that I'm more familiar with and is working well, it's feeling great. All right, and that was very, very nice. Let me rinse and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off cam. We did a warm water rinse to remove the soap, and then we applied our PAA alum. There was no stinging there, so super smooth shave. No nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, or troubles. And that's the way we like to do it all the time. Okay, following the alum, we did a cool water rinse, and then we toweled off with our Lancaster towel prior to using the Magic, made by Witch's Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber. I had an excellent shave today with Barrister and Mann, the full measure of the man, full measure of a man, I should say. Unusual scent. I don't mind it, actually. This might end up being a keeper. It is really unique. I'm not sure that it would be a home run scent for everyone, but there was something about it that just, I don't know what it is. I kind of like it a little bit, which surprises me, and I'm really happy about that. The Model T on the first run, once I took out that Rockwell blade, which didn't feel good at all, it was very nice and very smooth. So changes I would make to this razor if I had my way. I would shorten that handle, and I would try to find a way to make that head a little less clunky. The only thing that I don't like about this razor, it just feels a little clunky to me for some reason. It is, however, a capable and good shaver. I do like the way it shaves, but something about it feels cumbersome. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if it's because of that head. It doesn't look huge, but it's kind of, I don't know if it's the bar. There's something about this that makes it feel a little cumbersome. But I did enjoy it, and I will use it more and see how it goes as time goes on. I definitely, it's not a razor I don't like, but I don't know if I love it either. I do thank Grown Man Shave for providing the Model T and the full measure of a man. I remind you again, if you haven't ordered from Grown Man Shave, use discount code IAMCDB and get 10% off your first order. Okay, let's finish things up because we're babbling. We used our AP Shaveco handcrafted series brush, and it's in our Lancaster Razor Works brush soaking mug. And today I'm just going to use a toner. I'm going to use Lucky Tiger, which has a nice pleasant orange type scent. And we're going to be having a great day, hopefully. And I hope you had excellent shaves today, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Till next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.